Hello dear group members, I am Peter Platt and we have a new drawing for correction today. The drawing was made by Ruth Meyer, a fellow group member, and she did a really nice dog face, dog portrait, and there are just two things I saw about this drawing. The first one is one of his eyes aren't in a position, so if I drop the the axis of the eye, so if we have the axis of the nose and we have the same axis for the eye, we see that this eye is a little bit up. So that's the only thing I want to mention. And another thing I want to mention, it's about the basic shadow and light. So if you're if let's say we have a sphere, one moment. Alright, this is our sphere. Right, and let's see if this sphere would be our dog face head. We have a light from beneath the dog and a little bit from back, so it would be like let's see, it would be like this, the light direction, right? Which means that the light part would be here in this part. Alright, this part would be our midtone, this would be our core shadow, and the reflected light somewhere here on the edge. Right, and let's see how we are doing this. Let's say that this is our midtone, which hits our object like this. Alright, this is the midtone. Alright, and since we have the light from the back, we have edge light on the on our sphere, which means that we have light like here on the edge. Right, and this is the midtone. Right, for now I will delete the light. I will put the light at the end of the video. Alright, and we have a shadow which is darker than our midtone. The shadow is situated like here. Alright, like this. This is our midtone. Alright, this is the shadow, and we have a good amount of bounced light, reflected light, as you can see, and that means that we have something a little bit darker than the midtone. Not too much. like this, right? And here we have the light. First I will do the transition like that, and then I will put the light, right? So kind of this is the shadow of the head of the dog, right? The portrait of the dog, which means that all this part, like here, we will have shadow and reflected light, right? Most of the shadow area will be here in the middle of the face, and the rest of the parts are reflected lights, which are also part of the shadow, the core shadow, but it's a reflected light. And I can do the correction of the light and shadow pretty easy, because I'm in a digital mode. And let's take like this. This will be our shadow part, right? Now I will do it pretty rough. Right? So I'm doing it pretty rough. It's not too accurate, but it's just a quick demo about what you should, how you should think about this portrait, like that. All right. And as you can see, it starts to have a nice shadow area, right, which is flat till now, but we will start to erase a little bit from the shadow in those places where we have reflected light, like here on the bottom part of the dog, and the bottom part of his nose, like here, right? But as you can see, it's not the same light which we have on the top of the head, of his head, alright? And I will do another layer with multiply, alright? And I will do the same for his eyes. As you can see, near his eyes we have a little bit more shadow, and on the top of the nose we have a little bit more shadow, and we are also adjusting the tone of that, you see, and we are going to put some shadow here, right? And now I will make another layer, and on this layer we will work a little bit with harsh light, and you will see that our picture will show totally different, as you can see. Right, I will go back on the shadow layer, and I will try to take out a little bit from this part. It's also getting a lot of light, but it's a darker value. So as you can see, we have now we have a nice volume for the head of the dog, so it's more visible. And also we want to emphasize a little bit this part, which needs to be a little bit more turned from the light of the picture, so like that. Right, and kind of like this. Right, so this is our shadow. Right, so I think this is it. It's pretty fast, and I really love dogs, and I really love this drawing. It's really nice. I really love that part that you didn't did any all the strands of hair. You did work at just big shapes, and it's really nice. But don't forget to try to think about your work as a whole form, as a primary form, like a sphere, and then you will be able to make all the difference in a drawing. I also want to mention to you about someone on YouTube. He is called Iron Blaze, and he's a very well-known animal painter, illustrator. He's Iron Blaze. He has really nice videos, and he doesn't work just digitally. He works also in classical work. So he does draw on paper and paint with acrylic. You see, he has a gouache demonstration. He is drawing with different kinds of materials. It's pretty nice, and he's a master of the animals. It's pretty nice, and he has a lot of drawing lessons, a lot of nice videos on his channel, and it worth to be followed. So the Art of Iron Blaze, you can find it on YouTube, and he's a great guy. So this is it for now. I hope that this was helpful for you, and I'm waiting for your next drawing. Goodbye.